I first joined the company in 1993 in Colorado Springs, and I had always been in systems development. It was just kind of what I did. My undergraduate is in computer science. And I showed up in Colorado Springs with a pretty good background in scaled development. I was working in one of the big telecommunications companies, and I was joining this 20-year-old company named Federal Express at the time. And what I was surprised about was how much it was still like a startup. It was this crazy place, and I couldn't help but think, these people are crazy. They're slinging code, they're getting after it. But what I was so impressed by was how effective the team was in that kind of chaos. And it was just a new thing for me to learn that everything didn't have to be completely buttoned down in order to be effective, in order to make a difference for customers. And so things like the birth of FedEx.com, when people were still using Warbling modems to connect to our stuff, for the first time in the history of the internet, you could actually do business online. And so that shift was a defining moment in FedEx, and the world has morphed completely across these 3 decades to where that's how people live, work, and play, and we've been right at the center of it. I really have had the luxury of standing on the shoulder of giants as we've evolved those incredible innovations to the connected world that we operate in today. In 2000, when I think about it, when I first occupied this office, I was really just a kid. It feels like I was 40 years old and having this incredible opportunity. My head was spinning, frankly, at the opportunity to sit at the executive table with Fred and the team that was here at the time. It was an amazing thing, but frankly, it was a little out of place for me. I was trying to figure out how best to fit in this whole new world of being part of the senior team at FedEx. One of my favorite things about this job is having had a front row seat to the way the world works. And much of that came through travel to virtually every place that we operate. Now, not totally, because we operate in 220 countries, serving 98% of the world's GDP. But, having been in Vietnam and Africa and all across Asia and Europe and Latin America and Canada, and the experiences that we've had to go watch the way our team members all believe in what we do. They believe in the brand, they believe in the Purple Promise, and there's this culture that just embeds FedEx across the oceans and across the continents in a way that's just amazing. Having a front row seat to the world has been a hugely enjoyable and powerful part of having this job. And I've always believed you gotta go. You have to go see these places. You have to understand their culture. And so I don't just go sit in a conference room. I go and immerse with the culture. I eat the food. I love to experience the people as we go around the world. I was born in Asia, in Taipei, Taiwan of all places. My aperture for how big the world was set pretty wide as a child. And those experiences just kind of piled onto each other in my life. So I think that kind of put it inside of me, but I love to experience the world, and FedEx is an amazing, amazing company where the culture touches every corner of the globe. How big of a team do you play on is one of the most important cultural elements. I've often believed that when the business and IT teams work together, that great things happen. And you have to lean into relationships, you have to lean into valuing people in order to accomplish the things that this business has accomplished. I'm particularly proud of the emphasis that we always put on teamwork, on team members, and their ability to be part of something bigger than themselves. What we do here has a huge sense of purpose to it. We are indispensable in the world, and I've invested a lot of time and energy in working with the culture, believing that the culture is really important, that it creates a special feeling as a FedExer, feeling of gratitude, a feeling of curiosity, and a feeling that we can go change what's possible in the world. So if I was to choose one thing to be remembered by here, it would be the cultural work that we've done. And again, nothing I created, just something that I invested time in. Fred is the architect of PSP. I just happen to love it and put a lot of time into making sure that we continuously and intentionally grow the strength of the culture around the world at FedEx. I may not have known it when I was an undergraduate in computer science school and learning the fundamentals of technology, but it was to become my calling in this life. It's something that I felt was very important. I never wanted it to be about bits and bytes. I always wanted it to be about bringing together the technology and the business to create value. That's the most defining thing about that calling and about the time that I've spent across now 45 years deploying technology, building technology, and integrating it into businesses in a way that I think has been important, and it feels like it's something that's defined me. My favorite thing about FedEx is that we have changed what's possible. But I like to put that in active voice and call it changing what's possible. So in the past, we were changing what was possible by connecting the world in ways that nobody else had ever done. Today, as we sit here, we are changing what's possible in the world that we know. And when I think about the future, I'm really excited to see us changing what's possible in that future too, with a connected world that connects people and possibilities, that causes businesses to prosper, communities to thrive, and people to flourish in just amazing ways. Changing what's possible is really what defines the purpose for me here at FedEx. I can't even imagine the heights that this company is going to reach. You know, one of my great experiences ever was landing here in Memphis. I was on one of the airplanes with Fred, and it was just he and I, and we were looking out the window at the afternoon operations. And I said, Fred, did you ever imagine that it would be like this? And he said, I believed it would be important. I wouldn't have worked so hard if I didn't think it was going to be important. But the reality is, the scope and breadth and scale of the operation wasn't something that you could imagine at the onset. I think the future is just as bright as what we've built today, which is a marvel of modern engineering. But there are so many digital opportunities out there as we've connected the world and have so much valuable information about the way the world works through the lens of FedEx. There are so many opportunities to continue to impact the world, to grow this business, to create great lives for our team members and for the customers that we serve. It's a powerful, powerful company with a powerful purpose, and the best is yet to come. There are a lot of things that define me that have nothing to do with my CIO role. And in fact, sometimes I feel like the CIO guy is my alter ego, because what I really love is I love the outdoors. I love to fish and hunt. I love to be in the outdoors. We have a farm where we work pretty hard. I'm a foodie to a pretty high order. I love to cook. I love to go to great restaurants and eat and learn from great chefs. I love wine. It's one of the things that, for whatever reason, just intrigues me, because it's such an ancient art of how to craft wines and how to make good wines. So I'm a bit of a collector. It's something that I really enjoy, is sharing good wine with friends and good meals with friends. You know, I have this stack of priorities in my life: my faith, my family, and FedEx. And so family is one of those anchor points in my life. I love family. I'm really, really blessed to have a great family. We hang out a lot together. It's something that I greatly value, and it's something that's an important part of my life. I can tell you, I really am looking forward to retirement. I have so many exciting things that I want to focus on in this next chapter. And I'm not talking about having a custom rocking chair made that I can sit around on the porch on. There are hobbies that I've got, opportunities that I've got to go work on boards. I love board service and have had a great opportunity to work on boards, and I have a couple of great ones. And there are a few more knocking, even as the word of my retirement gets out. So I expect to be doing that. But I also expect to be spending time recharging, some time traveling with my family. But it's gonna be awesome. I keep running into folks that have retired before me here at FedEx and other places, and they keep saying, "Come on in, the water's fine." So I'm really looking forward to this next chapter.